Hello everybody and welcome to the fourth round of this virtual circuit racing mx5 championship from Oulton Park. We're using the island layout this time round, and in a contrast to the eighth round of this championship, which will be taking place on the international layout, going on a little bit longer than the Island Bend hairpin, which we're going to be utilising in this round of the championship. Fourth round, as I say myself, Leary, James Parfitt, taking you through the action here at the early stages of a season still, but still a crucial stage as well, James, because somebody has got to do something about Trafford King winning all of these races, and so far nobody's been able to. If this season gets any older and he continues to win races, you'd imagine he's going to be difficult to catch, even with this many rounds to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be hard, partly due to the fact, obviously, as you say, he's been an outright outstanding person so far. We're at Oulton Park and we've still got 6 rounds to go, and he can literally wrap this up if he keeps winning them. After the 1 week break, of course, when we come back probably for round 7 at Winton, I think he's going to be done and dusted. So they've got to try and get a hold of him somehow, and it's Jake Hewlett's back, so that might give him some competition. It depends on how long Jake's been able to race for, because this is his first round he's been in. Josh Haythwaite's having a bit of a rough season, should we say, as we have a look at the championship standings.
Let's see where everybody is. Obviously, King leading with 75 points. Woodhouse is in second place, 20 points further behind, with Chris McIntosh then in third place. Matthew Addy only a few points further behind him, and Lee Southwell rounding out the top 5. In fact, the battle from second place on down is very interesting, because only 25 points between second and 10th. Dave Price is 6th ahead of Juan Teixeira. Then Josh Haythwaite down in 8th, which, as you say, is a bit lower than what you'd expect to see from him. Darryl Moss and Stephen Bosworth round out the top 10. Liam Joyce has scored some points this season, so has Dan Buckingham, Luke Burton, Ben Gibbons and Tom Herrera, who round out, I think, everybody who scored points this season. Although we do seem to have, I think, more than 15 in the field tonight, based on what I saw there, or maybe it is exactly 15. Yeah, there you go. Selling exactly 15 times. So, first of all, Ryan Cunningham was not on that list there, so I wonder whether we have got somebody missing and 1 or 2 newer names anyway. But yeah, a nice field actually, and a field that seems to be growing. I really enjoy MX5 Championship racing when it's not done by rookies and when I'm not driving in it, because it's slow speed and gives you a bit more time to think really about what you're doing, and it generally seems to provide a bit better racing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. For some reason, for whatever reason, we cannot work it out. The slower the car, the better the racing. Like, if we were here with the Formula Vs, it would be absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing. So these guys are going to put on a show. The only one that hasn't set a time is this man, which is Liam Joyce. That's why we have not got him on the standings at this moment in time. There you go. He's just put one up. So we've got 16 cars on the track currently. So I'm really interested to see how this one goes, because as you say, we're not doing the full international layout. We're not including Shell Oils. But they've got that right-hand turn halfway down this straight. So this is going to be an interesting one in general, because it will allow people to make overtakes down there, because the draft is still quite strong in these little MX-5s. They haven't got a massive distance. It's probably around about 300-400 metres, if that, before they've got to turn right here. But it will allow somebody to nip up the inside. And it's always good racing when you've got a shorter circuit and MX-5s. Well, there you go, as we've just seen, literally on screen. So I'm expecting that throughout the race, and I probably wouldn't be too surprised if people start making moves into Hislops.
It's going to be interesting to see where the moves are made here in this round, whether that run towards Hislops is going to be long enough, because in a lot of cars it isn't. Even when we're using the big Grand Prix layout, or the international layout, as I think it's actually called, will that hairpin at Island Bend be the primary place for overtaking? Probably, if I were to guess, but we don't know until we start, as Herrera comes up towards the line here, looking to get into the top 10. As you can see, the gaps actually do extend out quite a lot when you get outside the top 8 or so. Can Herrera maybe get in the top 8 and join them? Doesn't look like it for the moment. Slipstream is powerful in these cars, and these kind of circuits are good for racing in slow speed cars, as we mentioned, but you've got to be sort of close enough to the leader in terms of your speed, and Hewlett certainly is. Southall and Addy, I would say, are as well on row 2. You'd expect, based on previous form, Woodhouse and Haythwaite to be able to follow through as well. Same for Chris McIntosh, but as soon as you get lower down than that, you start to see some bigger gaps, and it doesn't matter how powerful the slipstream is around any circuit, you've got to be quick enough to stay in that slipstream over the course of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Ames in YouTube chat and Alicia as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll be in for a good one. But that's the thing. It's the slipstream is great and it pulls you alongside, but it's being able to complete the move and come out the other side still in that position. And there's so many times that we've seen where people go into the corner and they're side by side and they go and overshoot the corner and completely get it wrong and then coming out the other side and they've lost 2 places. So it's all about timing. And I find with this league specifically as well, you get little groups. You'll have King, Hewlett, Southall, Addy, Woodhouse, Haythwaite, if he can hang on, and McIntosh together, and then you'll have like the likes of Cunningham, Moss, Herrera, Samuel, Bosworth, Gibbons, all in the bottom group. So we get 2 packs of racing, which is great for us. Dave Price, on his day, can race up at the top. If he's having a bad one, he'll be racing down in the bottom pack as well. So we'll find out how this one's going to go for Pricey. Hopefully he'll be on it and he'll be able to get it right and get going, as we do see him setting a green in Sector 1 here as well. For some reason, iRacing gives Oulton Park 6 sectors.
Yeah, it's very odd, isn't it? Considering it's not very long. Even these cars can do it in a minute and a half. So don't know what that's all about. That's quite a livery, isn't it? Goodness me.
I think it was
don't know who that is.
I don't know who that was, but I think that is a Turtles live. Oh, Samuel's back. Shamoy! Back on the racetrack. Must have got his new steering wheel. So fair play. Welcome back, Shamoy. Hopefully he won't spin round as much as he has done, should we say. I'm trying to put that in a very polite way.
Well, I don't. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's Hewlett. Those headlights look massive when you do the livery like that. Like that.
Oh no, it's not a turtle. Who is it?
Oh, it's the whatever that animal's called that is everywhere on the internet.
Yeah, isn't it a meme or
frog?
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't it a thing?
I don't know. I try not to spend time on the internet other than for work, so I don't know.
This thing in YouTube chat, I don't actually know what it's called, but it's on my.
Is it in your emojis?
Yeah, it's in the emoji. Look. I don't know if you've got YouTube chat open or not. It's that thing.
Oh.
What's it called? What is that? No, what's that called?
Is it a frog?
It looks
like a frog.
Yeah,
that looks like a different frog.
Yeah, but it's got a specific name. I can't remember what it's called.
Look. I see.
Pepe.
Maybe it says. Oh, right. Yeah. Maybe that is it. Yeah.
Pepe sounds about right. You can tell you're either too young or I'm too old. There's just that difference.
I don't think I'm too young. I'm just quite ignorant, really, to these kind of things. So there you go.
There's a lot of things, though, isn't there, Mr. O'Leary, that we find out about you that you're kind of not up to date with, are you? How's your film watching going?
I did go to the cinema the other week, if you must know.
No way. What did you watch?
Not of my own accord. I'm not willing to tell you that right now. On the internet.
Go on, what did you watch?
Well, part of the problem is that I can't remember what it was called, but that's I'm not going to describe it to you.
Did it have big blue men in it? Was it Avatar?
Hey, oh.
Was it? Yeah, bigger blue. Anyway, look, we transgressed already. It didn't take us very long. It took us all about 10 minutes. What was it called? What film did you go and watch?
I can't remember.
Oh my God! Did your missus grab you and take you there?
Yeah. I didn't go. I was going to say I wasn't there of my own accord, of course.
I didn't go willingly. I went kicking and screaming to the cinema. Oh, dear me. I love it. He goes there, watches the film for 2 hours, and he can't remember what it's called. Housemaid. Is that what it's called?
I mean, you could throw them at me all day. I'm not going to remember, I don't think.
Are you going to... what's it about?
Housemaid? I don't know.
What film would you...
No, I'm not going to tell you that.
That's because it was Housemaid, wasn't it? You went to watch Housemaid.
I don't know.
Oh my God!
You know as much as me.
I feel there's a bit of fibbing going on there, Mr. O'Leary.
No, I can't remember. Well, as you know, I don't know anything about films. I don't watch them, and I couldn't remember the name of this one.
Okay.
But it was fine. It wasn't the worst way I've spent an afternoon in my life. So there you go.
Ames is giving you grief at YouTube chat. She said you would have known if you watched Housemaids, apparently.
Okay.
And you're a right tease.
Would I? What? Okay.
I'm presuming Housemaid is somewhat of a graphic illustration of a film. I'm just going to put it like that.
Maybe it is. I'm quite intrigued now. If
I might go
you
watch
would know if
Housemaid
you've
now.
seen it.
Yeah.
I'm quite intrigued.
I'm going to get a date note with the missus tomorrow. We're off to watch
God.
Housemaid.
Go on, Google it first, though. You got to be careful with that kind of thing.
No, you never know what I'm going to end up watching, innit? You know what I mean? It might be like another film I watched. And I don't know if anybody... I don't even know if I could tell... Oh, bugger it. It's my channel anyway. In 365 days. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
I have heard about it, though, yeah.
Oh, dearie me. I don't even know how it passed the Film Standards Agency. How did that come out? I don't even know. Anyway, let's grid up.
Anyway, let's get on with the racing, shall we? That's a relief to everybody, I think. Traffic King is on pole once again for round number 4 in front of Jake Hewlett, but as you can see, the gaps are very, very close. Less than a tenth is the gap on the front row. Lee Southwell a bit further back, but Matthew Addy not far behind him. Then Luke Woodhouse and Josh Haithwaite on row 3, ahead of Chris McIntosh and Dave Price. Ryan Cunningham and Darryl Moss round out the top 10. Ben Gibbons and Shamo Samuel are on row 6 in front of Thomas Herrera and Stephen Bodworth, with Dan Buckingham and Liam Joyce rounding out the field. As you mentioned, when we joined, Joyce didn't actually have a time. He was the last of the 16 drivers. He has now got one. So I think this is the biggest attendance of the season. If only 15 people have scored points so far, I'm not 100% sure whether that's true or not, but that's at least all that's posted in the Discord, and so this has to be the biggest attendance of the season, which is good to see.
Absolutely. Rolling start. It's going to be an interesting one. How's that going to work out down in turn 1?
Yeah, I mean, it probably means it's going to be quite hard to come through the field on the opening lap.
Whoa.
Oh dear, who's that? Haithwaite, is it? Yeah.
That's a good showing from Josh there.
Weaving so aggressively, thrown himself off the circuit there, or maybe just did so he didn't run into the back of the driver in front of him, which is probably a good idea. That's the problem. Hewlett, keeps sort of accelerating and braking, which is sort of causing a bit of havoc in his line, but thankfully he's stopped doing that now, and we can get on with the race with everybody intact, which is good. Up towards the line, and a bit of restlessness at the back of the field, but we're underway. Look at that, a couple of guys trying to get going more quicker than Traffic King actually got us underway there. Hewlett on the outside line is going to rip round the outside through turn number 1 and maybe even lead the field down in towards Cascades for the first time. He will do. Down the hill and into the left-hander. King wants to respond immediately, but Hewlett takes the lead in front of Traffic King on the opening lap round the outside of turn 1.
Wow, absolutely amazing move there from Jake. Just swept round the outside like he wasn't even, poor old King was just stood still into the hairpin. This is where we're expecting some of the overtakes. See gainers and losers on the left-hand side. Hewlett up 1, Haithwaite 1, Price 1, Cunningham 1. So it moves further back, of course, here once again, but it's going to be an interesting fight now. How is King going to respond to this? He's got to start coming back through, and can Southall, Addy and Haithwaite stay with him?
Yeah, that's a big question, and already it might be answered not positively for Southall, because the gap is growing to nearly a second here. He's got a lot of guys right in behind him who might be able to help him, or indeed they could just end up fighting for third place amongst themselves here. Also depends what Traffic King decides to do. Does he want to make this a 2-driver fight? Because if he does, then he can push the race leader away from the others, and that would effectively reduce the leading group to just 2. Or he can go for the lead, and there he is into the final turn, down the inside, past the suit-wearing Hewlett by the looks of things, and Traffic King leads again.
Yeah, for how long though? That's going to be the question. These guys are going to carry on fighting. The guys behind are about 7 tenths. That's led from Lee Southall at the moment. Addy's tucked in there. Haithwaite, Woodhouse, Price. Then there's that gap. There's a gap developing there as well. You see Cunningham, McIntosh, Moss, Gibbons, Bosworth, all in their own little battle. I'm expecting that gap to start growing a little bit more. It's gone out to 1.2. So every time at the moment, McIntosh just cannot get through. He's got to try and clear Cunningham and try and move on to the pack in front, because if he does completely lose the draft altogether, that group is going to struggle a little bit. But it's dependent on what these guys do up front and see how they get on here once again. King, Hewlett out of control. Ooh. Big old lock up from Hewlett. Didn't really get it stopped there. Ewan, he went in a little bit squiggly.
He did go in slightly strangely, and Traffic King is now seeing this as a big chance. More than 6 tenths of a second is the gap. He's trying to break the slipstream on the way down towards Hislop's, not because he wants to defend himself from an overtake, but because he wants to break the slipstream completely. Through the chicane they come, and they haven't tried to punish Jake Hewlett for that mistake, so I think he's gotten away with it. Now, though, they've got to help him because Traffic King is sort of teetering on the edge there of extending this gap to over a second, at which point they've lost the slipstream and they've probably lost a chance at winning this race.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to try and close it back up. Hewlett now has got to try and escape Southall again. He's got to try and escape Addy, Haythwaite and Woodhouse, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in deep trouble. McIntosh is climbing all over the Cunningham. In fact, it's side by side going into Lodge, the final corner, and he has got through McIntosh. Now, can he make his way forward to Price? Price is teetering on the edge at the moment. He's teetering just about to get dragged into the group behind and also trying to get dropped from the group in front. But Cunningham and McIntosh back again side by side into one.
Yeah, Cunningham on the inside is going to get that position. You expect McIntosh to be in that front group, to be honest, but as soon as you find yourself fighting over a position like this, it's quite hard to get out of. Down towards Cascades, he's on the outside and he'll get through, but the damage for his race has been done, unfortunately. He is down to 8th, and look at the gap up in front to the leading group. I think he could be within that if he was maybe qualified a little bit higher and maybe raced a little bit better early on. He could be in that front group, but as it is, he's fighting for 8th. In the meantime, Haythwaite is trying to make progress with Woodhouse. These two are taking themselves out the group as well because, well, Hula has been able to drag the rest of the group in to the race leader, Traffic King. These guys are fighting and extending the gap in front of them. Yeah, they've got to stop. They've got to stop that one. Haythwaite, Woodhouse and Price. They've got to knock it on the head and try and move forward. 1.1 seconds already. Hewlett is now in behind King. The gap's down to 3/10 at the moment. 3.8, 3.7. See it dropping down on the left-hand side on the timing tower. Hewlett going round again in through Druids, coming into Lodge, and he's brought it down to 3.11, 3.22 now. It's going to be close going into the final corner. The question will be, can Hewlett dive it up the inside? No. No, not this time into the final corner. Only 5 minutes complete, not even. So we've got plenty of laps in this race. Say probably 13, 14. Plenty of chances to make your move into that final corner, which has been the place that Traffic King selected to take the race lead back again. And Island Bend, where there's been a couple of moves so far. Cascades was the place where Hula took the race lead, though. Jake Hewlett, who's still in second place and not at the moment being threatened for that second place by Lee Southwell. That's the position you really want to be in here if you're in second. In a group like this, you want to be challenging the race leader, but you don't want to be challenged yourself. It's quite hard to actually manage that, pull that off, but actually Hewlett at the moment isn't being challenged and is the one applying the pressure to the race leader. Yeah, he is going down now. You can see on board with Hewlett into the right. Now it's going to stick to the tyre barrier on the left. Now coming out again, looking for the exit on the right. Can he get the run up the hill? That's going to be the question for Jake Hewlett. Big old little bit of a wiggle once again. He still can't manage to hold on to it. Is he going to be able to close in, going in through Druids? It's going to be a difficult one. Just seen Ames' comment, by the way, about that being Mr. Bean and Jake Hewlett's effectively race suit and indeed helmet. And I didn't see it first time around, but it is, isn't it? Yeah. That is Mr. Bean. Well, there you go. Quite scary. That is quite scary, actually. It's a complete meme-mobile, that, isn't it? With the livery and the driver within it. I wouldn't want to see Mr. Bean's helmet being worn by anybody in public, to be honest, especially down a dark alleyway. I think that would be quite scary. Well, yes. I mean, that is quite a sight when you're on board there. That's for sure. I wonder what the inspiration for all these strange things are. I don't know, it could just be trading paints and Jake going, I'll have that one. Who's made that? I don't anyway, Lee Southwell loses the place to Matthew Addy, and slowly, as tends to happen in these races, the leading group is thinning out, and thins out generally those who are slowest. Oh, and can't stay within the group, and Southwell now goes for a half spin of his own. He's definitely out the group now, and Woodhouse is going to have a chance to go straight through on him here in towards Hislops, and he'll get through without even having to do anything on the brakes. That's a costly error for Southwell, who's lost 2 positions on this lap now. Haythwaite is not having a good season. Not having a good season. This poor old Josh. Not doing well at the moment, but we'll see how he can pick this up over the second part of the season. Sitting down in 8th place at the moment. Maybe the mx5s are just not Josh Haythwaite's car. Maybe it's can't really get to grips with it.
But there we go. Looks like Liam Joyce and Dan Buckingham have been off track and been back on again not long after. So Hewlett and King still going at it once more.
Yeah, but Hewlett is definitely biding his time purposely at the moment. I think he could be challenging Traffic King a lot more keenly here for the race lead, but he's electing not to as it stands. There's a little look towards turn number 1 there, look to the inside, but no way through for Hewlett this time round. Matthew Addy is the one sat there, by the way, just watching on, and he's in a decent position to maybe capitalise on anything that might go on here, maybe into Cascades, where Hewlett confirmed the race lead on lap number 1. He can't do it there, and I wonder whether this is biding time because he can't overtake. I think it's more likely, though, that it's because he wants to get the right moment to overtake. Southall goes off again and gets the slowdown for that rather harshly, and he drops the place to Josh Safeway.
Yeah, if he goes slow enough around here, he should be getting it off by the exit, though. All right, maybe not.
Oh, no.
No, did not do that.
Very harsh.
Yeah, very, very harsh. Loses the place. I will say him and Josh have swapped places about 4 times already over the first quarter of this lap. I'd like to point that out. So Southall's now managed to get rid of that slowdown. Addy, where is he going to do? What is he going to do? And how is he going to do this? Because he's kind of sat there at the moment and he can see what's going on. Does he go for it or does he not?
Well, not now, I think, because as soon as you battle for second, you let the leader get away. But I would argue if Hewlett gets past King, Addy should try and get past King himself, because that could just disrupt the race leader. You know, they've almost got to see this as a bit of a 2-on-1, these two, to try and get past Traffic King, because he's probably the faster driver, Traffic King. I mean, he was on pole there. I know it's a small margin, but he's probably the quickest driver, therefore, when it comes to actual speed. So effectively they've got to try and shuffle him back to third and make him do something very special to get the race win back again. But Hewlett not really encouraged to do that at the moment anyway, because he's, you know, just trying to win the race by the end of the day. And by overtaking King with 10 minutes to go, I don't think you're really furthering your chances of actually winning the race at the end.
No, so I'd like to point out really quickly, Southall has gone backwards more than he's gone forward. He went off track again, and Haythwaite did manage to cement the place in front of him. So those guys still fighting it out. Shamoy, he's having a good old battle down here with Ben Gibbons. They've been fighting it out as well a couple of times, swap places, and now at the moment Ben is in front of Shamoy. Shamoy's going to have to try and go again. Hopefully he's got his new wheel, and that's, I'm presuming that's how he is racing, because there was a wheel issue going on or something. He was selling one and buying another, and then they just made contact.
There's another wheel issue, sideways out of the hairpin for Gibbons, and Samuel just goes briefly off, but gets away with it. Southall was briefly wide there out of Knickerbrook, but gets away with that too. Haythwaite decides to push Woodhouse. Oh, bit awkward there, the way he pushed him. Oh, and he's getting to the back of him now, and again, and again, and again, and again. It's all happening between those two. Haythwaite trying to work his way past now into the final turn. There he goes. He maybe was a bit delayed in doing that, but he's finally down the inside and up to 4th place, but easy as you like. Woodhouse goes for the cutback, and he's got the better exit, which will get him the place back towards turn 1.
Yeah, Haythwaite's going to have to go again here, running side by side down into turn number 1 at the moment. Is he going to be able to sweep round, or is he going to take it off track on the outside to hold on? He's going to go and burn it on the outside. Haythwaite's there as well. Southall's going to get involved. It's almost going to be 3 wide on the run down into Cascades. Woodhouse could go down 2 places. He's being pushed out. Haythwaite's got the inside. Southall's followed him, and in a corner and a bit, Woodhouse is down 2.
Oh, he's really close to contact here, Haythwaite and Southall, as Woodhouse tries to stay out the way of the two of them. He'll break late now, though, and he'll get round Southall because he was boxed in. Although too deep from Haythwaite opens the door for him again. In the end, Haythwaite gets away with that, and Woodhouse now is going to get his slipstream, so it will be as you were. Dave Price will be involved in the group at the end of this as well, because they'll sew it to the down into his lops here. No, Southall putting up a good fight there. Despite the fact he didn't have any slipstream, he still managed to stay alongside and keep 5th place.
Yeah, they were trying to nudge each other to try and get half of Haythwaite's car. It was like they were both situated either side of the half of Haythwaite. So Haythwaite was in the middle and then one side each. And they were kind of bustling for what they could get out of it at the moment. And Southall managed to send it in deep and get it done. McIntosh has got... Oh.
Big trouble. Big trouble. Oh, dear. Straight on.
He's lost it before that.
Well, he might have clipped the tyre barrier.
I think you're right. Yep.
Not that. Oh yeah, he did. Well spotted. I thought it. I meant the second one when I said that, but actually no. It's the first one he's clipped there. It's.
See if we can get it. Watch on the right hand side here. Oh yeah. Boink, just there.
And then breaks the suspension arm and no turning.
Wow.
It's quite a good deterrent, that, isn't it, for corner cutting?
Yeah,
I mean,
don't go and hit the barrier on the tyres.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need for it really at this venue because there's grass anyway, but other places could do with one of them. In our racing, of course, you don't really want that in real life. Obstacles for people to slalom around, but we can get away with it here. That was very close. Hewlett there was into the back of Traffic King. And Matthew Addy's getting ever closer here, but it's just an impossible scenario. Just over 6 minutes to go, and he's going to have to hope that... I think his best hope now, actually, is that these two take each other off the road. If he attacks Hewlett for second, they both know that they are only going to finish at best in second because the race leader's just going to get away. So they've got to bide their time here, or Addy has anyway, and I don't think there's much more he can do about that.
No, I agree. There isn't a lot he's able to do either. Thomas Herrera and Shimoy Samuel just swap places. Shimoy has just passed Herrera. Unfortunately, lost that place to Gibbons, and Herrera's trying to come back at him further down here currently at the moment. So these guys having a right little ding-dong, still fighting it out down. Believe it or not, this is for 11th and 12th. I don't really feel that matters in this league because every point counts and they're going for it again. Herrera, is he going to go into Druids? No. What I do want to put out is Woodhouse, Southall, Haythwaite again. But Haythwaite's managed to escape a little bit, and now we've got Woodhouse, Price and Southall having their own little battle. So, you know, for Haythwaite, can he get away and use this as a springboard? He's got, don't get me wrong, 6 seconds over 5 minutes. It's probably a very, very tall order, but we'll have to see how he gets on. And, of course, now Woodhouse is going out Southall once again.
Yeah, having another go in towards... I thought there was a change there, but Hewlett again waits. 5 minutes to go, so not that long remaining now. 3 laps, I think, at the line. So not long at all for Hewlett to get past, but he's spent more than 10 minutes in this scenario now with King, and I don't think he's not been able to overtake because of not being able to get the run or whatever. I think he's been purposely not making the move so far, and that is going to put him in good stead for the rest or the end of this race because he knows exactly where he needs to make his move.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been staring at that back end of King, as you say, for a while, staring at the Trafford King Racing on YouTube. Go and check him out as well. Don't forget to subscribe. That'd be absolutely amazing because he's just been sitting there staring. When is an ideal opportunity? When is the ideal opportunity for Hewlett to make a move? Is it now? Is it last lap? When is it? You leave it to the last lap, as we've seen in multiple different leagues when people leave it to the last lap because they're at, you know, Road Atlanta or Watkins Glen or somebody on a high draft and it doesn't work out. Can Hewlett afford to do that, or should he go now? And the answer looks like he's going to go now.
Yep, down the inside, and he wants to mix this up a little bit. Oh, Addy's got to slow down. That is the worst timing. He had to use that opportunity there, Addy, to try and get past Traffic King, but he's got to slow down, and he's nowhere near him now. He's still not cleared it either because he cut turn 1 on the inside, and that's a hefty slowdown penalty. He's got to hope these two in front fight very hard now, and it looks like they might do. King is not into sort of waiting around for the end here and making the move in a very considered and well thought out way. He wants to just make the move as soon as possible. So he goes for the outside at Island Bend. He can't make that work. He'll go now for the outside at Hislops now as well. But let's see if it will work here either. I don't think it will. He breaks early. Addy has served his slowdown because they were fighting a little bit. He's back in the game.
Yeah, he is. He's managed to get it off. If I was Addy, I wouldn't have done what he'd done, though. He slowed down through Cascades and going up down Lakeside into the right-hander. I kind of would have just stayed with them until I got to that right-hander and then just sort of got it off as you go round, like come slowly round the corner to bring it down a little bit. But at the moment, he's lost a bit of time now, so he's going to have to try and rely on these guys going again. There's only going to be one more, I think. So it's going to be a tough one. Hewlett straight on the defensive, hugging that white line tighter than his favourite grandma, then brings it back again because he knows King surely isn't going to make a move this late on.
That's where he made his move last time into the final corner, but not this time. Traffic King stays behind Hewlett into the final corner. Addy is just frustratingly too far back here to make it work. As I was mentioning, he had to strike when King was losing momentum there, having been overtaken by Hewlett in that battle for the race lead. Now Hewlett's wide off the circuit and into Cascades. He is not going to have a slowdown penalty, but a lot of momentum definitely. Now into Island Bend will be the next chance for King, and he's got a good run, but the way that you get out of Cascades means that Hewlett's already immediately, without having to move, in a defensive shape. So King has to go around the outside. This time he's got a better go than last time, but it's just a very long way round there, and so it's very tricky, but he's got a good exit again, and he'll be almost level by the time they get to the braking zone at Hislops here. He's not really thought about where he's going to make the move here. He's just gone for it as soon as possible. Outside for Hislops, he can't get it through there either, and he's going to go on to the last lap potentially in second place.
Yeah, you know, nearly got him on the exit. He cut him back underneath and then come back the other way. Addy in the meantime just sitting there going, I don't know where to go. What would you do if you were Addy? I'd wait and see what happens to these guys and see if they do end up taking it out. It's going to be side by side into Druids. King blue and white. Hewlett in the Pepe livery. King sweeps around the outside and gets the car stopped. Now comes Addy. Addy's got to go down at it now. He's got to have a go, but they've got one more lap to go here. It's what does these guys do? It's the final lap, Ewan. This is going to go nuts.
Well, I think Addy made the right decision in not trying to go for the move, because that would have certainly sealed King's victory. I mean, the 4/10 gap was already quite big, really. I don't think Addy could have gotten away with going down the inside there, and Hewlett wouldn't have let him do it anyway. In towards turn one, there's no chance of making a move here. He's got to get closer than this. King was way closer when he was making the moves a couple of moments ago, but Hewlett has got one lap to find his way back past again. The big overtaking chance of Island Bend is coming up next. King there with not the greatest run ever. He takes a different line through there into the final, into the hairpin. Addy is quite close as well. Hewlett's going to go to the outside, but he's not far enough alongside, I don't think, and he hasn't got the space to turn underneath either. Matthew Addy was there alongside.
It's going to be a two-car run now down into Hislops. Hewlett on the right, the King on the left. Hewlett's now going to go for him. He's going to try and cut back underneath him, get him on the exit if he can. He's going to brake, tuck it underneath. Oh, he couldn't.
Oh, he doesn't.
Put it in. King put it in deep, didn't allow Hewlett to get the cut back. Is that going to be it for the final few corners? Trav King just pulled a masterstroke because he sent him in deep. He didn't allow Hewlett to come back underneath him. He blocked that overtake. Couple of corners to go now, Ewan. Hewlett, King, I think King's going to have this.
Yeah, I think he has got it. The defence through Hislops was good enough as long as he gets Druids correct. And he's pushing his Hewlett, and he's trying to get the run into the final turn. But it's too far back, I think. And Traffic King has indeed pulled it off, even as he's challenged here at Oulton Park in the slipstream in the MX5s. He's still able to take a victory. It's 4 out of 4 in the Virtual Circuit Racing MX5 Championship. Traffic King by a quarter of a second this time round in front of Hewlett. Matthew Addy couldn't do much in the end. It all came down to that moment at Hislops. He couldn't turn underneath there, could Hewlett? Or indeed couldn't or didn't. We'll have to speak to him and find out. But that was the moment where the race was won and lost.
I don't think he could. We'll have a look back. I think it's here. We'll have a look back because I got a funny feeling he couldn't. That was the question.
I'll rewind a little bit, but yeah, this is King making the move. Yeah. So he had to go into the hairpin, and it wasn't a bad go from him, but the outside move at Druids really where he eventually took the race lead, and well, it's very impressive. Although I do sort of think Hewlett sort of played a role in that as well, in a mistake there, because he really bobbled over the inside curves through the double right-hander.
Yeah, but look at the difference. That's what Hewlett did to King, and King tried to come back underneath him. Now I think this is the other way.
This is the outside, around the outside move, yeah.
Isn't it? So we're going to have to go, I'm going to have to speed this forward, otherwise we're going to be sat watching this whole lap again. He sweeps around him again, but it's very interesting to see the difference in the way that this is done from Trav King to what Jake Hewlett did. And King sends him in, and Hewlett couldn't get underneath him. We're going to fast forward for this next lap because I want you to see the difference of what King did than what Hewlett did. Because King sends it in deep going into Hislops, and he really does stop Hewlett coming even remotely underneath him. Watch again as we go in now. We'll just stop it as they're going up over the top of the hill, and then you'll see the difference to what was done.
There we go. So
look, he pulls it. See?
So King was a little bit earlier on the brakes, it seems.
Yeah, he just couldn't. Hewlett just couldn't get underneath him, and that's the thing. That's where it struggled, because the way that King positioned the car, he brings it in and he brakes a little bit earlier, and then that's it. Hewlett can't go anywhere because King's running the same speed as him. He needed King to go in like a normal person, and then Hewlett was going to try and cut back underneath, and he just could not do it.
That's why going into that, and I was thinking he might do that at the time. If I was Jake there, I think I would have tried to take him round the outside through that corner there, so almost double bluff him and say, well, you think you know I'm going to do this, so I'll do the opposite. But anyway, he didn't. And in the end, this is the race result. King ends up winning by a quarter of a second in the end of Jake Hewlett, with Matthew Addy not really able to get involved there in third. Josh Chaffwaite gets fourth ahead of Lee Southall and Luke Woodhouse. That was a group for most of the race. Dave Price in the end on his own in seventh. Then of Ryan Cunningham, who moves up to eighth. Darren Moss, Ben Gibbons round out the top 10. They were in a fight. So were Samuel Samuel and Thomas Herrera. Stephen Bosworth and Liam Joyce round out the guys on the lead lap. Dan Buckingham 3 laps down. Chris McIntosh 5 laps down. Let's have a chat to Trevor King, first of all, who's taken the race victory here tonight at Oulton Park. Trevor, welcome in. Congratulations on race victory tonight from Oulton Park. What a last couple of laps that was. Tell us about the sort of thinking for yourself there on how to make the move there on Jake, and then how you managed to defend it as well on the last lap.
Evening, chaps.
Evening, mate.
I didn't actually expect to go for a move at Drew's, to be fair. I was trying to line it up for into the last corner, but hey ho, we take our chances, and then it was just a case of staying in front, to be fair. I know how fast Jake is, and I know what sort of racing IQ he's got, so I knew another move was coming at some point. But yeah, good fun.
It was a good race to watch as well. Took us through that sort of crucial moment on the last lap, but going into the chicane there. What were you thinking on the way down there, taking that defensive line and shaping the car the way you did? And what were you expecting him to do, Jake, there on the last lap to try and get past you?
Obviously, after the Island Bend, the last few laps I'd been playing about trying to go outside of Jake anyway. So I sort of knew that there wasn't really a move up the outside into chicane. Like, there is enough room for 2 cars, but you've got to properly send it. So I thought I'd just sit on the inside, and then I seemed to have a really good run out of Knickerbrook each lap anyway. And as soon as I had that, I knew I could just sort of get, as long as I got Druids right, it was all good. Yeah, it was good fun.
Well, congratulations on taking the race victory tonight from Oulton Park, and thanks for chatting to us. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, you boys for putting the stream on. Well, every week I say I'm going to go watch it back, and I will do. And I'll, should be mint.
I hope so. Thanks for chatting to us again. We'll see you next week.
No bother. See you soon.
Thanks very much. That's Trevor King, who finished his first tonight at Oulton Park, round 4. Matthew Addy now joins us after finishing in third. Matthew, welcome in. Congratulations on a third place finish. I said there as I was coming through the results that you couldn't really get involved with the front two, or weren't able to get involved with the front two there through that race. How do you view that race there? Was it a case, or what was the case in why you never actually get side by side with either of them for second or first position?
Hey guys, it was a case of not having the pace, to be honest with you. I had the best seat in the house, sitting behind them. I knew if I got involved, there was a risk of me losing third place for a contact or anything like that, so I just preferred to stay there and enjoy it, really.
Well, I'm sure it was an enjoyable watch for yourself. How, when you take that all out of it, though, how pleased are you to get away with a podium tonight compared to what you were expecting from Oulton Park?
Oh yeah, we're happy with the podium. I didn't expect it at all, considering the little practice I've done. It was basically today only, so we're happy with that. And I just don't know what it is with the MX5s. I seem to have clicked with them. I've not normally this competitive, so yeah, long live it, hopefully. Yeah,
well, absolutely. Is anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No, just you guys, and thanks for the great commentary, and all the other drivers. Really, they've been clean driving, enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations again on a podium tonight, Matthew, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
No problem. Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much. That's Matthew Addy, who finishes third tonight in Oulton Park. That just about does it for us. I mean, a good race. Unfortunately, Jake doesn't seem to be joining us. A good race, though, Oulton Park tonight. I do wonder when we return to this circuit again in 5 weeks' time for round 8 of this championship, just how different it's going to be when we go on from that hairpin. Instead of using it, we go down to the island hairpin, if you like, down to Island Bend at turn 5 instead. Do wonder how that race is going to be. Just a little bit different to this one when we get round to it.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's going to be like that, we're in for an absolutely banger, aren't we? Let's be real about it. We needed this. We needed King to be challenged, and he was challenged last week at VIR. I think basically he dropped back from the lead to get involved in what was going on. And he even said in the interview, his words were, I dropped back because it looked like they were having fun and I wanted to be involved. And he did. And he got involved as well. So, King needed this challenge. And I think, Jake, if he can be here from every week onwards, if we can sort that one out, Alicia, that'd be amazing. Then we'll be able to see this every single week, because I think Trav King needs it. Otherwise, after the week break, I wouldn't be surprised if we're not far from this championship being done.
Well, absolutely. You know that always becomes a possibility after the halfway mark, but still impossible for this week and the next. We'll, of course, be live same time, same place from the Circuit de Navarra in 1 week's time. We'll be interested to see which layout of that venue we use, because there are quite a lot of them, and I think some would suit this car better than others, so let's wait and see which one is selected. But either way, wherever it is or whatever that layout is, we'll be live same time, same place on the JPB YouTube channel with that broadcast, of course. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside James Parfitt here from the Virtual Circuit Racing MX5 Championship tonight, until we see you in 1 week's time for round 5. It's goodbye for now.